Hi, my name is Ula bint Ijlal, and I'm here to talk about the power of news framing. First, let's start off with the definition. News framing is the way the news is manufactured through visual or verbal information to elicit a specific interpretation by explaining the issue, potential solutions, and the parties involved in its creation and resolution while emphasizing on a particular aspect of the news. Moving on to framing theory versus agenda setting theory. The main theory applied in news framing is framing theory, which is also closely related to agenda setting theory, both of which focuses on media coverage. Framing theory highlights how views of the audience can be influenced by the media portrayal, while agenda setting theory tries to understand the correlation between the media coverage and an issue's perceived significance. Next, I'm going to talk about the sociological framing. One way framing is applied in media is sociological framing. Sociological framing emphasizes on the words, images, phrases, and the presentation style of the content, generally focusing on the social values. For example, we have if you have two ice cream of the same brand, and one is framed saying it is 75% fat free, the other one says it's 25% fat. The audience will lead towards the 75% fat free because of the way how it is phrased and how it is framed. This is a biased framing, which can also be shown in two different lights by the source, which is positive and negative framing. For example, a politician's propaganda can be shown in the news in a negative framing, but also a positive framing, making the politician seem like a good person or a bad person. Moving on, the important concepts of the theory. The impact of media frames on individuals who receive them are examined by the psychologically motivated news on media studies. Journalists select topics and portray them influencing the public perceptions and issues. The audience's frames may conflict with the media content due to excessive news, which can reinforce negative or positive news frameworks to garner more attention. Next, I'm going to talk about the impact of news framing on the public. Belief importance in framing media influences public views on political issues. This mediator alters the weight of particular considerations, pushing beliefs to be more memorable. While belief content is crucial for framing news as it eludes the persuasive effect in media effects research. Now let's look at the ethical conundrums of news framing. Some ethical conundrums faced while news framing are privacy matters, fierce appeal and loss framing, individual responsibility frame, and stereotype printing. Stereotype printing could be when women are shown as only the home takers of the family, and privacy matters could be uh, when the news media is trying to gather information and behaviors of the target market, looking at the audience's media use, level of knowledge, and socio-economic status. This is a clear violation of their privacy. Next, I'm going to talk about some important authors and their views on the framing theory. Framing theory, developed by the sociologist Irving Goffman, suggests that humans use frames in news or media to understand the world, distinguishing between the social and natural framing. While journalist Todd Gitlin argues that frames are constructed to selection, emphasis, and exclusion. And lastly, Kress and Van Leeuwen view framing as a multimodal tool in art and design. Lastly, I'm going to mention some of the framing techniques according to Fairhurst and Saar in 1996. Metaphor frames mental notions by contrasting them with something else. Stories, traditions, slogan, jargon, catchphrases, and artifacts all use storytelling to present subjects in a more memorable way. Contrasting objects and presenting ideas in a way that implies value judgment can create bias and create a sense of significance as well. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.